I've probably read 60%. I have not read that one.
Oh boy.
I forget where I actually got that one.
Should get that thing in your brain.
Bro, this one right here, Deep Work, Cal Newport.
I love that book.
It's big.
So cool.
It reminds me of you a little bit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh. Hey Mama. About a film, a little podcast. Actually, yeah.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Definitely this evening. Maybe film for an hour and then I'll come right back up, so.
Looks like this is pretty good.
Oh, awkward. Yeah, just. That actually sucks. Jeez. Okay. Okay, I will do that. Can you send me a text, please? All right, love you.
All right, boys, we're recording.
Let's go. Phone conversation with my mother in that too. I hope it is.
It is, yeah. But we can edit out what we want.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
CCC Boys. BOIZ.
Episode 1.
Boys.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, should we kick it off?
No,
Some
let's do it.
intros?
I don't want to share that at all. I have to share it.
Share it.
Up at the house in the microwave, they can't open it. Apparently, there's a sandwich just held hostage in there.
The sandwich held hostage in the house.
Microwave was fully locked.
Fully locked. They can't open it. So there's just a sandwich in there. I'm assuming it's warm.
They're probably hungry.
Very hungry. Can't get their sandwich.
Super enticing.
So I've got to go pick up a sandwich. No. Well, probably.
You're on sandwich duty.
Put a microwave. I'm on microwave duty.
You're buying a new microwave, and then that's gonna get the sandwich out.
No, I think just new
We're
sandwich.
saying goodbye to the microwave.
I-
and the sandwich.
Sandwich too. I think
all
the
gone.
sandwich is gone. Oh man,
Love it.
I had to share that. Okay,
Yeah.
start us off. Get us into it.
Okay,
Oh boy.
boys. Opening question off the rip. Career versus entrepreneurship. Right? You got your 9 to 5. You got your boss. You're working for him. You can work your way up the corporate ladder. Option A. Option B. You can start your own business. Strike out. Take some risk. Maybe. See how it goes. What's the interplay? What's the move?
It's a great question.
We all have really cool ways of going about this right now. I think there's usually not like a right answer.
Right.
Like I'm pretty much going straight into entrepreneurship,
Right.
which is like really high risk. Versus maybe if you guys were to start doing entrepreneurship, having like some experience and something to go off of, there's actually some more leverage there that I would
Right.
have access to.
Some skills to base it off of.
Yeah.
Because did you come from, did you do a little bit of corporate at one point, or has it pretty much always been entrepreneurship?
6 months of not very applicable work. So kind of.
But you know entrepreneurship is
Absolutely.
that's the way you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is like a great unlock, I think,
Yeah.
to be able to kind of provide what you want in your life,
Right.
if done correctly. But I think right now, like I'm taking very high risk because there's not a lot of stability, not a lot of fallback. Like, if I fall back, it's like, what's your previous work experience?
Right.
Oh, nothing.
Right.
Good luck. You know,
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
better be the route. Versus if somebody were to leave, say Tesla. Well, if you ever really had to go back, it's like there's opportunity there. You've built some connections that could help you in your business. You have a greater understanding than somebody starting out from ground zero.
I like it. Dan, what's your take? I know you have some expertise in like career development. Would you lean more towards advising people to go down the career route or the entrepreneurship route?
Yeah, that's a good question. I grew up with my dad was very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And my younger brother's very entrepreneurial. I think my personality is I like stability and routine.
Right.
However, I went the engineering route. I got an engineering job, and I've loved it. I wouldn't give it up for anything. However, being exposed to entrepreneurship, the amount of growth that you can have personally in your own life and in impacting people I think is much greater than you can have at a typical like working for a corporation. So I'm at the point now where I feel making that pivot to entrepreneurship it's a great time to do it.
Makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
What's your guys' take on the risk of it? Like, there's a classic thing like, 9 out of 10 businesses fail, half of them don't exist in 5 years. Is that true? Would you guys agree that entrepreneurship is like by far the riskier thing? And how would you define risk?
I want to hear your point of view.
I think it's definitely more risky because your inputs or your outputs are directly impacted by your inputs and the quality of your inputs. Whereas you at a corporate job you can sort of just get by and still get that paycheck.
Right.
That's my initial thought. What do you think, Terry?
I've heard it said that the corporate play, the career play, it's a smooth start and a rough ending, and entrepreneurship is a rough start and a smooth ending. So, for example, you work as a software engineer for a decade, and it's like a smooth start, and you get paid, a decent salary off the rip, probably 6 figures within a few years, and it goes well. But AI starts getting better and better and better, and all of a sudden the demand for software engineers just kind of drops off a cliff, and then you're out of a job, and the one skill you've built over the past decade is now gone, and so now you're in a bit of a rough spot. Conversely, if you had those software engineering skills that you were utilizing, but you sort of built a business around it, super rough at first because you have 0 clients, 0 momentum, 0 referral, 0 skills in all the other aspects of running a business besides software development, like marketing or sales or whatever. And so it takes a long time to get going, but maybe 3, 4, 5 years in, maybe quicker, you have an asset that is accruing revenue at sort of an uncapped rate. Like, there is no hard ceiling technically, whereas there's kind of generally a ceiling with career in terms of finances. And then you can potentially sell the asset, for a few million, possibly. Put that in a 5% bond market, and you have passive income the rest of your life and can do whatever you want, build more companies, or then go have a job at a corporation and just do it because you like it. So I've heard that framing of smooth start, rough ending versus rough start, smooth ending.
Where did you hear that saying, out of curiosity?
I listened to a podcast with Ali Abdal and I always forget his name. He's some Australian guy. He's like an entrepreneur.
Chris.
What is it?
Chris Williamson? That guy?
No, not Chris Williamson. He's like a serial
Australian?
entrepreneur. He's British.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris Williamson's British.
My bad on that
This
one.
guy's an Aussie, I think. Like Kevin something maybe. But that's where I heard it in terms of that risk trade off.
Yeah.
What,
I like that.
When did you? Because Taryn, you and I are similar. We did a few years in the engineering field.
Yeah.
And then you're looking to go into med school. You took the MCAT, got a really good score.
Yeah.
But now entrepreneurship is a large part. It's piqued your interest a lot.
For
So
sure. Big time.
Share a bit more about that.
Yeah, I think it's always been there. It's getting progressively less worse because the first time I did it, like I was in college, I was in undergrad, and I heard about like Amazon fulfillment. Like, you get a bunch of stuff.
Oh, dude, I remember when that was big, bro.
Yeah.
You had like middle schoolers and high schoolers saying, "Yo, I got this course."
Yeah. And so I went on this huge rabbit hole of like searching into only Amazon fulfillment.
Yeah.
And I spent like a week or two trying to find the perfect product that would have like the right margins, the right sellability on Amazon. And I landed on meat defrosting trays.
Whoa.
From China. So
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
were you in engineering at this time? Were you
no, I
working
was
full time?
like a computer science math major
Okay, in college.
in college.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so I'm working at the tutoring center making like $12.50 an hour. And I have like some savings, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to drop like $1,500 on these meat trays.
And
So I'm like,
when you're in college, that's
well, I was
a
in
decent
college,
amount
yeah.
of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zero demand for it, zero validation, zero strategy for having to sell these, but I'm like,
I assume no knowledge.
zero knowledge. Like, get me $1,500 worth of meat defrosting trays now. So I'm like on the phone with Alibaba, like these Chinese manufacturers. Long story short, I get them. I have zero skills at like marketing or sales or any of this, and they're like $12, and like the margin's not there. and I thought you could just post it on Amazon, and because they have enough traffic, you would
yeah.
find it.
Right.
But when you're on page 7 of like Meet the Frosting Trays, like it turns out they don't find it. So I got like 1 or 2 sales of my like
Oh, well, that's so
pretty
you
good.
got a couple sales.
a couple sales out of my like probably 850 inventory.
Oh, okay. So the ratio just wasn't there.
So bad. Like I didn't take
Gotcha.
proper photos because it was
Yeah.
like you really need to go take professional photos. You need to market it. You got to sell it. Zero paid traffic. Like zero, so it just sat. And every month that Amazon held the inventory, I had to pay. So I was just not only did I drop a K, but I was hemorrhaging cash slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And so then I eventually just liquidated it. I was like, stop. Like, I don't even remember what I did with the meat trays, but I told Amazon, like, please
Just give them to me.
send them to me. I don't want to keep paying you. And a few other like entrepreneurial ventures. I took a stint at writing. I made a PDF for like bodybuilding back in the day, which got 1 sale for $5.
Oh, that's big.
So profit margin of basically 100%. 5 divided by 0. I mean, all
Why don't you
margin.
keep doing it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
What did you have other friends that were doing entrepreneurial things that kind of planted a seed, or what gave
Honestly,
you these
not
ideas?
really. I don't know. My mom was always super encouraging of entrepreneurship. She's like had her own business for probably like a decade now.
What does she do?
So she owns a tax, bookkeeping, and like financial consulting firm.
Oh,
And she actually just sold like 2 days ago the tax and bookkeeping part of the business.
Oh, wow.
And now she just does the financial consulting. But yeah, so that's where I got
runs in your family, kind of like me a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah, have that role model for sure.
Wow.
But that is a blast of the past, and that goes back to risk, because dropping $1,500 or however many dollars on a product that you don't have a strategy to market or the skills to market, that's risky. But I think there are avenues of entrepreneurship where the only thing it costs are like time, effort, and maybe a little bit of embarrassment. Like it is kind of embarrassing to go door to door and ask people to buy your stuff, or like it is kind of embarrassing to post a bunch of content on the internet at first.
You're really being vulnerable when you're an entrepreneur. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel. You've been doing this for quite a few years now, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like entrepreneurship.
Getting close to a year in totality. I feel like the biggest thing is when you say like 1 out of every 10 businesses succeeds. I think there's kind of a lack of honesty in like, is that really the case, or is that just people starting LLCs? Like, how do you actually get that information?
Right.
I think there's a lot of people who just like get an LLC and then that was it.
Right.
So like that's
You
not
don't
the
actually
business.
start it.
You know, but I think the most embarrassing thing I think is that you're gonna start ideas that like may not work,
Yeah.
or you'll start something and then it's like, well, this has better legs, so I'm gonna pursue this. Or you're doing one thing and then you can add something else on top of it.
Right.
So you're like, do people trust you anymore? They're like, wait, you were doing this, and you gotta like, and now we're doing this.
For sure.
Oh, now I'm doing this.
Right.
I feel that's very normal in entrepreneurship. Like I think I relate a lot to what you were saying, Taryn. I've started some things. I've created the YouTube channel. I mean, you guys just saw the engineered fitness.
Yeah.
I think I posted one video and I just stopped doing it. Then I pivoted to like injury prevention stuff. I did a couple of videos, stopped, pivoted,
Right.
didn't do entrepreneurship. So I think you make a good point. What do you? Number one is pivoting okay in entrepreneurship, and then what do you tell people when they get discouraged because their idea didn't work?
Yeah, well, pivoting is definitely okay. Like, to me, it's a numbers game. Like, I'm going through a decision right now. Like, do we just eat the sunk cost and move forward with the idea that has better legs and, like, is already performing? Or do we, like, try to recoup costs?
Mm-hmm.
That is a pivot. You have to make those decisions. And then now it's like my friends and the people who know me who are not going down this route, they just want to know about me, are like, wait, so what are you doing now?
Right.
I think the biggest thing is like it's actually not embarrassing. It's the first part is embarrassing when you go from like living a typical life to living an entrepreneurial life.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't relate to people in the same way. And people don't usually like change. So if you're changing, that's an uncomfortable thing. If you let that rub off on you, then that's embarrassing. You're like, oh, I'm pivoting. People don't like that. If you're an entrepreneur, you should be okay with risk. You should be okay with change. It happens like all the time.
Right.
And so just like don't let that. Yeah, I'm changing. Like, this is what I'm doing now,
Right.
and it's a reasonable decision. Make those changes fast based on the information you have. If you need more information, like go and get it, and make sure you can do it quickly, or else you're just sitting there
Yes.
and wasting time. Yeah,
Do you think most people are resistant to change?
for sure. It's like human nature. It's scary to change and do something different. There's no evidence of is this actually better for yourself.
Right.
So people are resistant, but like anything, like it's a habit. Are you able to change, and how much friction do you feel? Same thing, like as basic as brushing your teeth. If you never brush your teeth, you do it one time, it's harder. It becomes easier and easier and easier until it's like a habit. Same thing, it's like, are you able to change or take risk? I don't think you should be like changing all the time just because you can.
Right.
But taking risk is something
Sort of like a calculated.
yeah, you can take a calculated risk, and
Yes.
your emotions no longer get in the way. It's now just what is the best decision.
Right.
And if that's like, well, let's bring money into it, or let's bring my family into it, things like that, there's less emotions going on. You can just make a good decision.
I feel you're really good at this, Taryn. Because I feel, myself included, a lot of people get analysis paralysis. They'll spend weeks or months analyzing the right decision, and they never really take action.
Yeah.
I feel with you, with med school and your business online, you're making very calculated decisions, but you're executing like the night of or the morning of.
Yeah.
Like, how would you get that? How do you execute both of those in parallel?
Yeah, I think there's a huge danger that a lot of people miss, and it's actually not doing something imperfectly. It's doing nothing perfectly. You know, like that's the thing people get wrong. I think often where it's like this, like exactly what you said, analysis paralysis, where they spend so much time trying to dial in like a plan and a system that A, they never execute, B, they get overwhelmed, and C, if they even do start it, they realize that all plans break almost instantly once they come into contact with reality. And so you have to change anyway. And I think the much more valuable thing is like get something out there, hit your goals, focus on the inputs, and then realize you're gonna have to iterate. Like get a C minus. You know, it's the opposite of school, where like school is like, hey, actually grind all the way up until this very specific date, and then get like as perfect as possible. And I feel like entrepreneurship is kind of the opposite, where it's like actually get a C minus as fast as possible, and then get it to a C, and then a C plus, and then a B minus.
I like that. Yeah, that's really good.
So that do you think that the education system in America is setting up people or swerving people away from entrepreneurship to corporate lifestyle?
I think there's a solid argument to be made there for sure. I mean, if you take that one example where it's like you have these very set, defined problems on a very set subject matter, and you just have to go from there. Whereas like with entrepreneurship, it's just a completely wide open ocean where you need to start moving and you need to start collecting data. And like there's not a lot of stuff in school where it's like start doing something, start getting feedback, and keep moving and keep iterating until it works. In school, it's much more like defined problem sets, or define like your essay needs to be 2,000 words and it's graded on these criteria.
Yes.
And in entrepreneurship, it's like, dude, you could stop that instantly. Like you can stop even taking the class of English, and now you can be a math guy, and like you can sell that. So it's just there's so many options that it's almost hard to know what to do.
I haven't written a paper.
Yeah.
So you don't have to write papers anymore. Believe it or not.
Dude, with AI,
Yeah, man, you can. It's amazing.
it's insane. Do you guys think, going back to the career versus entrepreneurship, do you think it changes based on like age and or your prior experience? Because I can see an argument for like you have a 45-year-old employee who's built a ton of connections, they have like capital, they have a certain skill set, they've kind of seen and learned the ropes, versus a young buck at 20, 22 that's just like getting after it. You're playing it on hard mode, but I think ultimately
Don't get Gary
it's a
Vee
higher
here
ceiling.
right now.
What would Gary Vee say?
You're so fucking young, dude. You're so young.
Oh, that's true.
You're so start that business.
Because we have
Sorry,
risk.
Gary. Yeah.
Gary, we know you're watching
He's
this.
Brilliant. Yeah, there's some validity in that. I also think there's ideally, if you're a 40-year-old, you've built some expertise at that point,
Right.
so it should be easier to start a business.
Mm.
I think like the younger you are, generally, the less you can provide to society.
You build no skills.
You have no skills at that point. Like you're plenty of high schoolers like making a lot of money, or at least what it seems, and they found a way to provide value. But like in general, you are still learning English.
Yeah.
Like that's still a
Right.
class, you know.
Right.
So how much value can you really provide?
Right.
Can I have a
Not
counter?
to deter any. Yeah, please.
So I interrupted you. Did you want to finish? What
No, go ahead.
Okay. I have a
So I would
counter
argue with that a ton too.
argument as I've worked with a lot of people who've been in corporate for 10, 20, even 30 years plus.
Yeah.
Not a weakness, but a trap that I think people can fall into is they get their job, they grow to a certain extent, they get comfortable with that paycheck, just enough to kind of live.
Right.
But then they as they get in that comfort zone, it's so much harder to give that up, make the transition, take the risk to build the business. So analysis paralysis, like we talked about earlier, then they just I wish I did this, but they never do because they just ride the
Ride the wave.
corporate lifestyle. Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Not that that's wrong, but it's
Right.
just I've seen that a lot. People say, "Oh, I want to start this business," but it never happens.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, they obviously have more potential. Like you could have continued to break past this ceiling that corporate is kind of put on.
Yes, there's definitely a ceiling.
You can see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think with that being said, if you're very intentional in corporate, you learn about how does a business work, how can I be impactful to the people around me and the teams. You can take those learnings and then apply it to your business.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to just do the bare minimum, show up to work, get it done, come home.
Right.
Yeah.
Because honestly, for a paycheck, you don't need to over exceed. You just need to do the bare minimum.
Right.
They'll pay
Yeah.
you, right?
Right.
I've got to say that point I said about high schoolers.
Yeah.
I hate that I said that.
Why?
Why?
Why do you hate that?
Well, business is so simple. Like as a high schooler, you can totally make money
Totally.
or provide value. I hate that I said that. You
Car
can
wash.
totally do that. Yeah.
You make a good point. Like
Yeah.
maybe some high schoolers don't know how a business works or don't. But I think they have I think you're a good example. You haven't done 10 years in corporate, but you know how a business works. You're
Right.
learning it and you're applying it every day. So,
I take it totally back.
Taking it back.
I'm sorry I
just
said that.
High schoolers, we are so sorry.
Because you can do a lemonade stand. What am I
Lemonade
thinking?
stand, dude. Car wash.
That is
You can get a bucket and some
I'm
soap
so
and go
stupid.
harass patrons at Walmart and say, "Can I wash your car for $5?"
Right.
And you're building so many skills.
That's a
right there.
business.
Yeah.
I think
Insane.
what
Sorry.
I was getting from what you were saying is if all you do as a high schooler is do your school, play video games, and you don't learn and grow outside of that,
Yeah.
how do you know how to provide value? But
Yeah.
that's what I got to
Right.
got out of what you
Generalist.
said. Yeah.
Yeah.
General
Yes.
statement. Yeah.
Ideally, the 40-year-old has more skills than the high schooler.
Right.
Yes. Especially if they
Ideally, are at
applied
a better
themselves.
point.
Yes.
Dude, on this topic, I heard Alex Hormozy say this, but he says if you're 18 to 28, he said we should normalize 12-hour days for 6 days a week for men between 18 and 28. Super hot take.
Whoa,
72-hour
that is a hot
weeks.
take.
29-year-olds get a break.
Yeah, once you're 29, go to 9 to 5. You're back to 40-hour weeks.
Couple more years.
What's our thoughts around that? Because his whole premise is like,
Huh.
you're 19, like you might have built some skills, but like you haven't built probably the skill of sales, the skill of marketing, the skill of fulfillment. Like there's a ton of skills that you just build over the years that you just kind of learn. And so he's like, go start getting the reps in, go start building those skills. What's your guys' thoughts? Is that too extreme?
What do you have to go home to? I understand there's people in that range that have families, but if you don't have a family, what are you going home to do?
That's his point, is you have so much time.
I'm
Generally.
not even kidding. Sun's going down at the office, and I'm like, yeah, like I'll pack up. Like everyone already left to go home. I'm still putting in some time to work, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go home. I get out the door, and I'm like, to what? Like, what do I go like to eat? To like, I don't know. Like I'm still gonna get to bed on time.
Right.
So tomorrow's a good day. Like I could work an hour longer.
Right.
Mm.
Why would I not do that?
Yeah.
You know? I would agree.
Mm.
Why? I mean, why? What are you doing?
Right.
How many hours a week do you guys work yourselves currently?
That's a great question. I actually don't really track it. I've noticed the past few weeks, and we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
but I've been working more on like my own business, and kind of like you said, like I don't really get tired, and I kind of want to keep going, because like when I worked in data science or when I'm doing school, it's like, all right, I put in my 7-8 hard hours, you know, with a lunch here or there, like I'm good. I'm gonna go climb. But like building this, I'm like, I kind of don't want to, like I kind of want to keep going. I'm like Saturday, I can put in 8, 9, 10 hours. Sunday, I can put in 8, 9, 10 hours. So I've been putting in probably at least 10 hours a day, give or take.
Let's go.
And I'm like every day. But we'll see. I think there's seasons too. Like I think this is a peak crunch that'll be cool to establish stuff, and it'll shift with med school coming up. But that's just my take.
Yeah.
And I mean, a note is we are single guys. We don't have
Yeah.
families to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
care of. We don't have kids.
Right.
So
Not yet.
if we're not grinding on something, creating something, then I don't think we're using our time very wisely.
Are you
Right.
being entertained by something?
Right? Is it entertainment or is it value and then
Creative.
creativity?
Right.
Hopefully, we could entertain you.
Hopefully.
That's ideal.
Yeah.
Maybe this is entertainment.
Are you
Who
entertained?
knows? Yeah.
Man.
I've heard a similar thing from Scott Galloway. Again, I think he's kind of talking to young men, but he says like you should be doing one of 4 things at any given moment, which is working, working out, hanging out, or dating. He's like, I'm in sleep, but he's like, those are your 4 things. And like I've kind of agree, kind of taken that into my own life where I'm like, because what's outside of that? I mean, there's entertainment, there's like hobbies, and I think it's all well and good, but I think that could be done in a social setting as well. Like if you love climbing, go climb with your friends.
Yeah, hobbies could be hanging out.
Yeah.
It's ideal time to do that.
Like today, we went on a bike ride together. So it was a fun, like we were exercising outside.
Yep. Cardio, working
cardio.
out.
I don't think I really break outside of that.
Right.
I think I'm kind of
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah, similar for me as well
Let's go.
lately.
You doing good?
A note I wanted to add on this 6. Who was it that said that? 6 12 hour
Scott
days?
Galloway.
Was he talking more about?
Oh, that was Hermosi, actually.
It was at
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Hermosi.
Or
So
Alex Hormozy, yeah.
is he talking more about just in general, or like working at a job, or on your own business?
What
He's-
is it? 6 by 12?
6 by 12,
Math guy.
72 hours.
72 hours.
Yeah. He said for young men, just whatever, put in 12-hour work days. So I don't know if that
Whatever
means
you're building.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you have a 9 to 5, either, right, that's 8 hours, and he's saying do another 4. Either keep crushing your job by putting in another 4 hours, or go start
Yeah.
building another business. Because there's so many businesses you can start that are just time and effort.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't have to be capital based. It can just be time and effort, which you tend to have in abundance when you're in your 20s. It tends to be what we all have a ton of. Is just time, effort, and energy. So
Right.
let's take the strengths that we have, because we don't really necessarily have all the skill or the networking or the connections at this point, or the knowledge, but we do have a ton of time, effort, and energy in this age. Like we can sleep 6 hours and be pretty sharp, and like our fluid intelligence is going to peak like around 27. So you got 5 years. We're starting to cool off a little bit.
Run this
but,
on my own, guys. Don't
but
leave
like
me
take advantage of your strengths, you know.
Yeah. Do you think? I'm curious because you could go put a 12-hour day in that just means nothing.
Right.
Is that? I mean, that statement in itself. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh, for sure. You think
Good to just like build the work ethic, or
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point.
like I did a 12-hour day.
Right.
I can't really pinpoint what exactly I did.
Which I feel
You
like
did
a
stuff.
majority of the people in the world will say, "Oh, I'm pulling 70-hour work weeks," but they're doing that at the cost of social, at the cost of sleep, at the cost of taking care of their body.
Right.
Right.
And then even they're just at work. They're not maximizing their value output at work,
Right.
which I think is kind of what you're saying, Spencer.
Right. So, one, like you're building work ethic, but I remember, like being in college, I'm like, I have to be working. I felt so guilty hanging out with friends because like I'm not building the next multi-million dollar business,
Right.
which that's its own story. But I felt like guilt around that, so like I had to work. And if I look back, I'm like, there's nothing to really point towards any of the time that I spent doing that.
Right.
It's like, was that actually worth it? Would I just have the same work ethic I have now if I had like hung out with friends more?
Yeah, that's a great point. So even if you're not necessarily getting high yield results or even spending your time on high yield activities, at least you're building the work ethic muscle.
Is that worth it? Because I think some people just have a work ethic.
I think so.
Different people, I think a good thing to note is different people have different capacities. I know some people after, even if they're working on something they love at work or building a business, they might, 6 hours a day might be their limit, and then they just need to relax with family or friends.
Right.
I know you two, I think the three of us have a pretty high capacity. Something that I like to do myself is, with the 6 12-hour days that you were talking about, Taryn, is thankfully work, I can get done what I need to effectively in 40 to 55 hours a week.
Right.
And then that leaves me, if I'm doing 72 hours a week, that leaves me with quite a lot of hours every day, maybe 3-4 hours a day to work on other things. And what could that be? That could be my health, because I think that's really, really important.
Right.
That can be spending time with quality people like you guys to build our character, build our faith, and then we worked out today.
Right.
We can encourage each other, and then build our business. I think after this, Taryn, you and I are gonna knock out some editing. So
Yeah.
Let's go.
Got a little work to do post this.
I think an idea that you can have, if you're in the corporate world, be effective in that, but then don't just view your life as corporate, view your life as your health. It's look at the full picture.
Right.
So in that way, I'm never not working, because I'm always thinking about how do I add value to my life. Every hour of the day.
Right.
Even sleep, you can count sleep too, right?
Right.
I have to ask, because I know it's a problem, you work 8 to 5, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And it's 5 o'clock hits and everyone leaves and you're technically done with your job, for
Yes.
what you get paid.
Yes.
Adding another 4 hours to that, that's impossible. It just does not happen. And I can understand maybe you're just stoked on career growth,
Right.
but I feel like you'd have a good opinion on this. Should you be trying to build something on the side post work?
Yes.
And I know there's
Oh yeah, that's good.
a struggle with that. Should you be putting in more time into your job to progress faster?
Yes.
I assume as a manager, you're this guy's putting in 4 extra hours every day. If I'm promote him before anybody else.
Right.
There's value there.
Yes.
What should these people be focusing on? I guess. Where do you put these 4 hours if you're in a career?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it really depends on the individual. If you're really feeling like you're having a massive impact in your job, and you feel led to go all out on that, be faithful, be diligent, do that well. And if that means staying extra hours every day, then do it. But if you feel like you're made for more than just your job, make whatever that thing is happen.
Mm-hmm.
For me, how I do it is, I always love working out in the morning. I have an hour or two to chill before I go to work. Get to work around 9. So that's the time that I use for my creativity.
Right.
Because I know at the end of work,
Your 2 hours.
Yeah, my 1.5, 2 hours.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's not a whole lot of time, but if I'm diligent every day, that compounds.
Right.
What do you do in that time?
Film, edit, research, and then sometimes Taryn and I will just talk and share ideas with each other.
Talk shop.
Yeah.
Which is super beneficial.
Strategize.
And weekends, thankfully I don't have to work on weekends, so we can do stuff like this.
Right. That's
Yeah.
huge. What I know we all have sort of either an entrepreneurial role model or a social circle that's entrepreneurial, but why entrepreneurship? Because we all have that bug.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What does it mean to you? Why do you chase it? Is it the challenge? Is it the freedom? Is it the creativity?
That's a good question. Love to hear from you, Spence.
All the above. I think that it would be taking away from who I am to go back and do a job. and I think that the skills I've built in this time, only a few months, can be at this point, like, I don't know what role I really fit into.
Right.
Like, I've done so many different things, so many different, like, parts of a business, like building a business, like just everything. Like, we throw around the concept of being like unemployable. Like, there's just so much. If you were to put me into a job, it's like you'd have to cut like half the skills
Right.
to like fit me into like a typical job.
Right.
So it's like entrepreneurship is one, respecting myself, and like who I could potentially become. I love the idea of like growing myself. Who could I be? Who could I provide for? And I don't think you really get there going the corporate route.
Right.
And at the same time, it's like, how big are your goals?
Yeah.
And I think you should think about that like all the time. Like, are my goals big enough? Are my goals big enough? Are they big enough? The goals I have now, when I first set them, they like terrified me.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, there's a way, like I'll figure it out, but those are huge. And then the more I think about them, it's like, those are doable.
Right.
Only way to get there is the the business route.
Right.
Like, you just wouldn't get there in career. So
Right.
I'd be totally disrespecting myself to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go get a job. Maybe that's a super self-centered way of thinking about that. But
Little
You have
agua.
enough water there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. What about you, Dan? What's your why for entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I don't know if I've my full answer to that. I would say what comes to the top of my head is I believe I can do more than what I'm just doing at work. And when I do more, add value to people outside of work, there's a large fulfillment that comes from that.
Right. I like that. You have excess bandwidth and it needs to go somewhere.
I would say so.
Yeah. I like that.
have you always had extra bandwidth?
Yes, and I would say sometimes I've used it wisely, sometimes I haven't.
That's a great point there, because I think that's something a lot of people probably battle with. Is it's like we all kind of have excess bandwidth. Like, why? Why should we go spend another 3-4 hours a day like building a business or building our skills? Like, why not play some League of Legends? No disrespect to specifically League of Legends, just an example. Like, why not go play video games? Why not just like chill and like watch Netflix? And maybe there's nothing wrong with either camp. It's just maybe
Right.
it depends on the person, their goals. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, I used to be a big gamer,
I've had my stint with video games.
and I think I had some great memories, great times, but as I got older, like I was big in high school into then, as I got older, I realized my days were not nearly as fulfilling if I just use it for entertainment and fun,
Right.
versus if I truly built something to add value to other people.
Right.
There would be this deep sense of fulfillment, like, okay, I'm doing what I was created for, whereas games was just a way to have fun and pass time, but there was something in me that wasn't being fulfilled when I did that.
Right. Are you being served or are you serving others? Is maybe a way you could frame it. For
Yes.
your case was like the gaming
Yes.
might have been a way to service you, but you felt more fulfilled when you served others.
Definitely.
Poured out to others. Love
Yeah.
that. I like that a lot. So let's say somebody's like, okay, this entrepreneurship sounds kind of sick. Like, what now? Like, cool guys, you kind of convinced me. Like, what now? What do I do? Like, do I go sling beef jerky? Like, I go buy 3 packs of beef jerky and sell it for double the price? Do I vibe code something? Like, do I do something with AI? What would you say to your average guy? He's in college, or he's kind of like entry level career.
Yeah.
What's your advice?
Yeah. 'Cause I think a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs. It's just like you said, Taryn. How do you start?
Yeah, which I think is the hardest part.
Yeah, it is.
That what now question never goes away.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're like, okay, well, what now?
Yeah.
I have that conversation all the time. Like, so what do we did the thing. Like, we did it. Like,
What now?
we've got people. Like, okay, like, what now? And you just
Yeah.
figure it out. That doesn't help anyone directly. Like, the point is that the question never goes away when you're in business. But I do think that understanding business would be crucial. So the more that you understand
Yeah.
about it, and
Yeah.
you could like understand it, it's really a simple thing.
Right.
Like, you have to be able to get people to raise their hand, say like, I want this product or service, and then those people, you just offer them the product or service.
Right.
It's basically business. So if you understand that, then you can go like, okay, like, what could I offer, product or service? Like, where are my skills aligned? And then how would I tell people about that? Like, do I have any avenue to do that?
Right.
Yeah. And I like what you said earlier, Spencer. At the end of the bike ride, you said, I think this is what your dad might have said this, but you in business, you find out what people need or what their problem is. You figure out the solution, go get that solution for them, and then you, depending on the situation, you give or sell them that solution.
Yeah, figure out what they want,
Yes.
go and get it, and then give it to them.
Which when I heard that, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because why are people going to spend time or spend money on something that's not solving a problem that they have?
Yeah, and I think that order is super important because don't do the Amazon meat trade, guys. Don't go buy $1,500 worth of meat trays.
You almost sold me, actually.
Yeah.
This is close.
Like, do the I think the thing for most people, like if it's your first time getting into entrepreneurship, you can probably make something. You can probably for sure make something. Like maybe you're good at crafts. Maybe you can vibe code some software.
By
Maybe
the way,
you can
I've
like
heard that vibe code a lot. What does that actually explain vibe code?
vibe coding is just like talking to like Claude Code and just telling it
okay.
what to do and being like, hey bro, I don't like the vibe of this color palette. Let's go with more like an orangey color palette. And it's like-
Okay.
And that's vibe code because you don't code anymore.
Full-time job.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time doing it. So I think people have the capacity to make stuff, but the problem is they make stuff that other people don't want. And that skill of like going and figuring out what people want and marketing to them
Yeah.
and selling to them is like a way harder, more uncomfortable skill than doing the thing that you're already good at, which is like if you've been a software engineer, like yeah, you can go make a website and you can spend 2 years on it and you think it's sick, but like does the market think it's sick? And like do you have any skills whatsoever to interact with the market? And if you
Are you fulfilling a need with that?
yeah. And it's like, it's way more uncomfortable to go start engaging with the market, whether content or like paid traffic or polls or whatever.
Yes.
Super weird and hard skill that most people don't have unless they come from a marketing background. And like, they may not like your product. And that's might be like, oh, dang, like I really thought this was sick. And now you have to iterate. Like it's tough feedback. So I would just say, be careful. Don't buy $1,500 worth of Amazon freezer meat trays unless you have a marketing plan and some experience there.
So you're saying figure out people's need before you start working on a solution.
Yeah,
Often you think people oftentimes switch those two.
reverse it. Yeah, and the even more dangerous thing, because what, it costs $20 for a Claude Code subscription, you like, and 3 hours to build a website, sure, or 2 years depending how much you invest into it. But there's an even more dangerous version, which is like, oh, I'm gonna drop $25K on this product on these like foam rollers, and I'm gonna sell those.
Right.
And it's like now you've taken a huge financial risk, and the only thing like that's going to get you out of that hole is a marketing and distribution plan, which generally most people don't have if it's their first time in entrepreneurship. Like you as an engineer or me as a data scientist, I had no clue about any of that. Like I knew how to do data science, but I didn't know how to like advertise that or get clients in that sense, which I think is a good reason to do a service-based business when you're starting out. Because there's zero capital investment, and you say I have a skill, I'll sell it to you. You can
And
use.
what would be an example of a service-based business?
So I came from a clean your pool. I came from a data science background, so I'd be like, hey, X company, let me look through all your data. I'll give you 3 actual insights, and we'll see how much it comes out to you. Like maybe it does this to your revenue, and I'll do it for a $1,000 package or something like that. You as an engineer, like you could sell consulting. You as a serial entrepreneur in real estate, you can just advise or come up with a marketing plan. Like you have an amazing background in marketing. So sell that service, sell that expertise maybe.
So instead of making a product and selling it, whether physical or digital, you're not doing that. You're selling it like a service, like you said, cleaning a pool, coaching, or whatever that may be.
Totally. I think that's a low risk way to do it as opposed to like $30K on R&D for, some energy drink. That's just a thought there.
Typically that's easier too, like just there's no capital
Right.
necessary. And it's easy to be like, just ask your friends and family, ask your following, like there's no like marketing plan needed to like test the market. You can kind of get a feel pretty quickly of like, do people want this?
Mm-hmm.
And it already exists, great. Like career coaching exists.
Right.
So all you have to do is find people who want to career coach with you. Like it already exists. Okay, you don't have to go test it. You just need to generate some demand.
Dude, that's another huge thing. I think like when I first started out, I would see competitors and I'd be like, oh crap, dude, like I can't do this. There's someone doing it already. I think we got to flip that, or I had to learn to flip that, where it's like that's actually proof that it works and that people want it. Now you just have to go be better than them. And you probably don't even have to be better than them. You just have to capture a subset of the market by being slightly different, Because I would always be like, oh, this person exists, they're doing the thing, I'll never get a client. But it's like, no, they've actually verified that the model works. You make your own version, you're slightly different, that'll appeal, and there you go, you're off to the races. And you don't have to directly compete with them, you can indirectly compete with them. And if you even take 0.5% of their business, like, you're moving. And it's just a game from there. So don't let competitors be a deterrent, let it be like an attractant toward something.
Yeah, it's proof.
Yeah, it's proof it works.
Yeah, so I think you and I were talking about a similar topic, Taryn. You said if something seems very saturated, like let's say you see 3 big content creators or entrepreneurs in a specific field, and they're getting lots of revenue.
Right.
Instead of being deterred from that, see that as, okay, there's a big need here for
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah. I think it's a great way to frame it.
It's really, the personal branding space is really fascinating because there's like a personal branding coach that pops up all the time.
Right.
And the really interesting thing is people love newness. So even just like being a new character, people are like, oh,
See.
maybe he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Like a new character in that same or similar
In the
field.
same, in the same
Knowledge.
field. It's like, oh my gosh, someone news you. Let's check them out. They're wearing something funky. Like, let's see if they even
Yeah,
they know what's going on.
Because like you with you're doing MCAT, but you're more of a bro, laid back character with systems. There's going to be a lot of people that maybe don't resonate with the other person that was doing MCAT teaching this way.
Yeah.
But then they see you and they're like, man, I get what it's saying and I can resonate more.
Right.
That could be like an example.
And vice versa. Like, there's
Vice
gonna be people
versa,
where it's like,
yeah.
dude, this guy's wearing a backwards hat talking to me about science right now. What does this guy know?
Yeah.
Talking to me about the kidneys and chemistry? Wearing a backwards hat? I don't trust you. That's okay. Like, it just depends. It just
Yeah.
depends. And I think by leading into like our uniqueness, that's how you can sort of build a moat, And we've kind of all been diving a bit into like branding as an idea, as a moat. And I think by like saying your unique opinions or leaning into your unique stories or talking about a story as a lesson, and like that's something that provides value, right? Like I just spent 48 hours working and I'm not going to tell you the 3 lessons I learned in 45 seconds. Like you're providing value by compressing time and
Yes.
sharing knowledge. So I guess there's a moat you can build by being unique. So if you see somebody that seems like a competitor, just do it. Ideally do it better, and at worst do it differently.
Do it the way that comes naturally to you.
Yeah.
Through your personality.
Yeah.
And I think, maybe that's a good general piece of advice for those listening is don't try to compare yourself with other people to try to be like them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can take ideas from people, but build your business with your personality because there's only one you in this world.
Right.
Embrace that
Yeah.
versus I need to become exactly like this other person that's successful.
Right.
Would you guys agree with that?
I like that. I like that a lot.
I think there's some validity to like if you're building a personal brand,
Yeah.
that'd be the case. I think Ogilvy says like every business, give or take, is just a long shadow of one man. The idea like your personality, who you are, I don't care what HR rules you set, like the way that you perform in the workplace, your team, your crew, people that you have hired are going to see that and kind of replicate that. So if you're just a jerk of a boss, we have all these like fun HR like it doesn't matter.
Right.
The plaque on the wall does not matter to who you are.
Right.
I think of course like build around. You can try to build around that best you can. I also think there's a lot of like success leaves clues. You can go out and just copy models
Yeah.
that work. And a lot of time like you can get caught up on, oh, I need to be unique. Sometimes it's hard to identify what that means because there's so many players out there. It's like, well, what makes me unique? Like I've got a crew neck on. Like, does that do the thing? Do I have to go out there with like the afro and the fun? Like, yeah, it's work for other people, but how far do you have to go? I think at the end of the day, it's simplify it.
Right.
Right, like those three things again, like that's kind of like adding on top is like you have to be unique, right? Like you have to be yourself. I've never understood what those really mean. It's just like do the business.
Right.
Just take the action,
Yeah,
and the results will follow.
yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's a little bit of a cliche from the personal branding world of like, no, like you have to.
This is an interesting twist. I've never heard it said that way before. I mean, practically it makes sense to me because when I record and post the video, when I build the website or whatever it is, I'm that builds confidence, and that is just who I am.
Right.
Versus just thinking about doing it but not doing it, then that's maybe where you get caught into this mindset.
If you're, let's say you go and make a video and you're like in your mind like trying to be me, what does that
Yeah.
mean? Like I
Right.
feel like I would get paralysis of like
Be you.
do it be more me? Like how do I do this? I have to be unique.
Like you are you. Like there's no, you can't be anything else.
Yeah. So if you show up to the marketplace, guess what? People are gonna point out like, oh my gosh, I love that he always has his shirt off in his videos. That you're just being you.
Right.
You didn't like think about it. You didn't do it. Like you're gonna show up unique. And there's of course plenty of examples of like you show up.
Right.
The guy with like the super fun glasses, or whatever. Like yes, that also works. One guy like always wears a beanie with a clip in it, but like you probably just do things that are unique.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be so calculated about it. Like just.
I don't like focusing on that.
Yeah.
I really don't think it matters.
Right.
Like focus on the actions and the steps to build
Yeah.
the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say that because I remember like obsessing over what it would look like to build a personal brand.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my skills aren't quite there yet. Just that statement itself, like I have to be unique. Like, what does that look like? I'm trying to brainstorm that. I'm like, okay, like here's like my values and all that. It's like, dude, can you provide a service or product to the market? Do they want it? If not, like just go hang out with friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Or go figure out what that thing is that they need.
Go spend 4 hours on a career. Like
Yeah.
it's not that deep. I think.
Right.
I feel like that's a
Simple.
refreshing way to think about it. Thanks for sharing that stuff.
Let's go. That was refreshing.
Have you guys heard of the 766 approach?
Ooh, I don't think so.
Going back to like, okay, cool. What now? Like, what do I actually go do? Again, it's this Australian guy, and I'm forgetting his name. And it was in the podcast with Ali Abdullah. It was a great conversation. It's like an hour long.
Yeah.
But he basically says, if you're new to business, if you're coming from a career, you're coming from college, like, you don't know a ton about it. You need to go learn. And how do? You do it with the 766 apprenticeship. And so the goal is go find a business owner doing 7 figures of revenue with 6 figures in profit and work with them for 6 months. Like doing whatever.
Interesting.
If they pay you, like bonus, but really you're getting paid in experience and knowledge and skills. And so that's his whole thesis is like, go do that. Go do that for 6 months. Go learn, like, and then go try and start a business. Do you guys agree with that, or do you think maybe just start trying yourself, or like audiobook it? What's our thoughts there?
I like it, and I would simplify it because I don't even know how you would do that. Like 7 figures. Like
What's your revenue?
do you like
local
LinkedIn
business
this? I don't understand how to find that. Cool idea, but I think what do you want to roughly get into?
Yeah.
Can you go find maybe 20 people who are just obviously very good at it,
Right.
and then you can do some outreach to them, being like, hey, I'm not asking you to pay me, I'm asking you to learn.
Right.
That is a great way to go figure out the business and like fast track your success.
Right.
And usually they're okay with sharing, especially it's like it's free work for an ambitious person. That's not a bad deal for them either.
Right.
So it's a great way to learn. I just simplify that.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I think the point that I take out of it is, or a personal story that I'll share.
Yeah.
When I in the past, you know, I've started the engineering fitness. I've tried to start some like health and career advice on Instagram a few years ago. But because none of the people I was spending time with was entrepreneurially minded, they would either just not really take an interest in it, or they would just ignore it. Some even thought like, hey, this is maybe not the best idea. But as soon as I started spending time with people that thought out of the box of just, you know, the 9 to 5 and then that's it, that's the value you add to people.
Yeah.
Then like spending time with you guys, something is ignited in me to go all out.
Right.
Now I have accountability. So I mean, maybe that person doesn't have to earn a certain amount of money, but as long as they're waking up and they're taking those actions to create and to build and to add value, I want to surround myself with people like that.
Dude, huge.
Yeah.
I think.
I like that.
Yeah. If I had to say one thing that a person should do like today and an ongoing basis, if they want to accomplish any of their goals, it wouldn't be like a new habit, it wouldn't be a new hobby, it wouldn't be a new mentality, it would just be change your environment. Change your environment, including the content you consume and the people you hang out with, and go from there. So like as an example, if you're driving 30 minutes to work every day, like turn off the radio and put on like an educational podcast about a field of endeavor that you want. Like maybe it's business, maybe it's not. Maybe it's triathlons, maybe it's being an Ironman, maybe it's lifting. Like put on the stuff that you want to learn about and you'll become more like that. And, you know, think about who you're spending a ton of time with. I'm not saying ghost all your friends, but think about who that is. And I think like for me, that was a big change where I was like, I have a ton of time on podcasts because I'm driving around a lot. Like I go for runs and bike rides, so I listen to a podcast when I do that. So I probably do like 2 hours of podcasts a day, or like if I'm eating lunch, I'll do it, or if I'm doing chores, like I'm just ripping podcasts. And I notice like whatever I listen to, whatever theme it is, it sort of informs my life or shapes my life. And so for me lately, it's been really focused on business and learning business, and I've learned so much. And it changes your reference group. It changes what you compare yourself to. And that I think is the most powerful thing. Because I mean, to your point, Dan, like having you guys also in similar fields and spending a bunch of time with you guys, it just changes the gameplay. It changes the playing field. It changes what is normal. Like to me, it's not weird now to work 10, 12-hour days, to work the weekend, to like realize, yeah, there's a crunch and sometimes you got to say no. I used to never be able to say no to social hangouts. I would like drop most things to go hang out with folks.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, I actually have a pretty sick mission, and like I'm not gonna say no all the time, but I'm not gonna say yes all the time either.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal for me. And it's
Huge,
I
yeah.
learned it from you guys and from other folks, like on podcasts. Because we might not all have 7 entrepreneur bros that we can just like live with and like want to do things with. But you can control your Spotify algorithm, I'll tell you that much.
True.
So that's my one change I would suggest
Yeah.
to folks.
I love that. That's the concept of like social conditioning
Yeah.
of, and this is something I think like everyone should be aware of. And it's like your environment directs you. And if you're not aware of it, then you'll just continue to live that way. You're like the standard 9 to 5, when it becomes 4:30, you're like, people are getting ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Right.
Your environment tells you that.
Right.
And so like that's totally fine. It's totally fine. Just be aware of like what your environment is like signaling for you to do. And
Yes.
so cliche, but I had this happen to me. People were like, you should hang out more. Or like you should
Right.
stop being so busy and hang out. And
That's something people were telling you.
Yeah, which so cliche, and I've heard this in the past, and it like really is happening to me. And I'm like, whoa, am I real self-improvement, bro? Or like, am I? It was a pretty cool breakthrough. But
What's the cliche there? It's like when you start succeeding, people start asking you to hang out more.
just people being like, oh, like you're so busy, like come hang out.
Right.
I feel like I've heard that in the past, like it's actually happening.
Right.
But that's something like if you're not aware of social conditioning, you'd feel a little bit of guilt of like, oh yeah, I'm not hanging out with people.
Right.
I should maybe hang out with people more.
Right.
And like that is going to direct you.
Right.
If you're aware of it, you go, hold on, priority check. No, I'd rather work on this business and continue to progress.
Right.
You just have to be aware of it. Same thing like your friends, like everything you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge. If you had a group of guys all working together that all worked till 10 p.m. every day,
Yeah.
you'd feel so awkward leaving at 5.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
That's true, man.
I'm lazy.
Yeah.
You would feel lazy
Yes.
in that environment.
For sure.
If you grew up in Sparta and you were like, I don't know, like doing some like basic house chores and stuff as a man, you'd be like, I don't know how to fight. I feel so weird. Like I don't fit into
Yes.
society.
Right.
Yes.
And now like basic chores and things, it's like you have to do that.
Yeah.
For example, like your society, the things like all the way from like a country level down to the people in the same room as you
Totally.
are all directing you towards something if you're not aware of it.
Right.
It'll lead you somewhere. So.
Something that I struggle with this like I want to just hang out with people like you guys that inspire me to do more and to support me in that. And I also a strong mindset I have is we need to love those people around us.
For sure.
So what's a practical way to still love people, but then recognize if those people are not contributing to a positive relationship or contributing to a positive environment for you,
Yeah.
how do you lovingly reduce the amount of time you spend with them? What are
Yeah.
practical
That's
ways
a
to do that?
fantastic question.
One thing I heard was I think they did this study out of Harvard where it was like they look at your 5 closest friends in your peer group, and like that is an excellent predictor of like your future net worth, your future success, your future like health. But what was actually wrong about that is it's not your peer group, it's your reference group. So in other words, it's not the 5 people you're necessarily hanging out with the most.
Sure.
It's the 5 people that you're comparing yourself to the most.
Okay.
So I think with that frame in mind, it's not necessarily that like the people that have aligned goals with you, you need to literally hang out with them the most. It's just more
Yes.
that you need to kind of reference yourself in contrast to them the most. And similarly with the folks who maybe have different goals than you, it's not that you need to like literally stop spending less time with them. It's just that maybe you just realize you have different goals and you stop comparing yourself to them. And I think there's always going to be
That's a neat way to look at it.
yeah, and there's always going to be some amount of like the people you hang out with a lot, you tend to reference a lot. There's always going to be that, but there is an extent to which I think they're separable in terms of who you compare yourself to versus who you spend the most time with. That's a thought.
I've never heard that. I like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you need to be in close proximity, or do you need to be with people to like love them? And can you love like everybody?
I know I can't. I mean, we have very limited. I mean, I think. For me, how many people can I love well in a season? Maybe it's a handful of people. Like, could I love 50 people really well this month? No, like that's
It's too much.
That's too much. Yeah.
Right.
I think if you look at a super high capacity person, where let's even take us, if we're all working on businesses that influence a lot of people, product or service, and the people that you would eventually hire, right? You guys have a lot of influence in your lives. If I were spending my time being with people of just a lower capacity or lower influence, I'm actually doing a lot more people a disservice. So if I were to like be positively influencing business owners with large impact and influence in their lives, that's going to be greater love, impact, influence than people who just aren't at that same level. And so I would urge you to like, if you think maybe these friends, like, I can have better friends, or there's friends that, like, they're the way that they live their lives, I'm attracted to that. They work harder. They will probably have more capacity, more influence, more impact, and that's where I'm going. I would urge you to spend more time with those people. Selfishly, bring yourself up, and you will have more impact, which I think is doing yourself a service, which means doing other people a service with greater influence.
Yeah, because life is hard. We need to surround ourselves with people that are not only that we can love, but that can build us up and love us back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How would you answer that question, Dan? The balance between loving folks and like tackling the mission.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Don't know if there's one good answer. I would say something that works for me is intentionality. So when I'm, obviously we're out and about, we interact with many different people. So being intentional with every single interaction that we come into, but then having a good understanding if the conversation is not positive, if there's no value add either way,
right?
Then just it's okay to say no and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think people tend to get it's hard to do that. It's hard to say no and move on.
Right.
But that can be loving to do that, to work on yourself more, to go spend time with someone where that value is being pushed either side.
Mutually supportive, healthy.
Yeah. I don't always know the best way to do that, but that just comes to mind.
I like it. It's a great answer. Well, boys, any other closing thoughts, questions, advice, stories, parables, jokes?
A lot of options. I feel actually
overwhelmed.
I love the questions that you came up with, Taryn. Thanks for getting that for us.
Dude, likewise. You guys asked some
Solid
great
topics.
questions.
That's really good.
Heck yeah.
One question for you guys. There's a special locomotive. This is sort of a, you could say it's a riddle.
It's a riddle. Okay.
It's a locomotive. It was built in the 1960s.
Okay.
It was built in Britain. Okay, it was shipped to America.
Okay.
So they used a cargo ship to ship it across in the 1960s. It's electric. It has two large electric motors near the front
Okay.
of the locomotive.
Okay.
It's pulling 12 cars full of people. Okay. So here's the real question. I'm just giving some backstory to this locomotive.
Okay.
So we're starting in Chicago. We're driving. What do you don't drive a train. You
railroad.
Choo-choo.
engineer choo-choo a train to LA. Okay. So what is that? Southwest.
Southwest, yeah.
Southwest. Okay. Southwest Airlines. Shout out.
Southwest.
We're going southwest, Chicago to LA. The wind is blowing east.
Got it.
Okay. So as the train is choo-chooing from Chicago to LA,
Yeah.
the smoke coming out of the stack, which direction is that heading?
Oh, dude, great
The
question.
wind's blowing.
The wind's blowing east, train is traveling southwest.
Is there an actual answer to this?
There is.
How?
So is it which way the arc is or which way the smoke's going?
Which way the arc coming out of the train,
It's probably going
which
out,
way is that
right?
pointing?
Going
So
out?
your guess is up.
What? I do like that answer.
The wind is blowing
originally.
hard. I'll just say the wind is blowing hard, the train is going fast. Which direction is the smoke going?
Do a little vector addition here. So
Yeah, we got some.
smoke is going that way.
Yeah.
I feel like this would depend on
I'm gonna say
how fast the train's going.
what's the question? Is it the arc or the
The direction that the wind is blowing
because it's
hard.
like forming a line.
Yes, it's forming a line. Like an
Okay, so the
airplane
line is
and
going
the
this
line-
way.
Yes. So I guess
Wait, I got the answer.
Okay, what is it?
It's the line is southwest to northeast because it's moving the whole line.
So if it was a like a diesel or a steam powered locomotive, you would be correct.
It was
But
electric.
it was electric.
you gotta be
Oh,
kidding me.
Gosh, bro.
Oh.
That was a great way to end it, dude.
Maybe
Shoot.
someone on the call.
Stupid.
Did you guys know that the whole time? You're there like,
Oh.
he's drawing a freaking graph.
Shout out to my dad. He always did that one when guests came over. So.
Oh.
I love the backstory too.
British trains. dude.
1960s, a British.
Did they have electric trains in the 1960s?
Maybe.
Right over my
We'd have
head.
to look that up. I
Yeah.
probably got that wrong.
Wow.
Have you played the game where it's like, okay, say milk twice.
Milk.
Spell it 3 times.
MILK.
3 times?
MILK.
Say it 4 times?
Milk.
Say it 3 times, but say milk backwards.
Kiln.
Great work. Now 1 time forward.
Milk.
What do baby cows drink?
Water.
Nice, dude. He's sharp.
Wow.
You can't get past this guy.
Glad you did
I
your
had a
to me.
feeling something like that would come up.
He was so ready. He was on guard.
I was on guard. Yeah.
Okay, if you need a riddle coach, Dan is your
That
man.
was good. That was good. That was fast.
I have heard that one before, so I was sort of ready
You're
for it.
ready.
I will say.
Are you the Riddler of this group right now?
The train one is one of the very few that I know. So we'll
He's
have
the
to-
Riddler. Are you the Joker?
I gotta just yap. I think I just talk a lot.
Harley Quinn, maybe?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay,
You're
love
the-
that.
What are you?
Dude, Catwoman.
You are, actually.
Yeah.
You are.
Combat? Got it.
Which is a good point.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, boys.
That was a good first run.
Yes, sir.
Good first run. Thanks for joining episode 1. We would love to hear from you guys. Any topics that you want us to talk about?
Yes.
Career, health, or really anything. Where we love to talk and chat.
Yeah. Comment below. Maybe we'll go live next time, and then we can like just chat with y'all. But yeah, thanks.
See you guys next time.